What's going on, guys? Joe Farewell with Tactical Hyve, and today we're coming at you with a little rifle comparison. We're going to be looking at the difference between your standard military mil-spec type of work rifle versus a competition rifle. So while both of these rifles are AR-15 platforms, there's a few subtle differences that separate the two between the mil-spec style tactical rifle versus a full-blown competition rifle. Some of the first things you want to look at are the compensator. So I run a Tactical Rage compensator. It is tunable for this rifle, and it makes it so that it reduces all the recoil and makes this rifle shoot incredibly flat. Takes all the side to side, all the vertical recoil, and basically makes it so I can put 2 rounds stacked on top of each other without a whole lot of effort. When you're looking at more of the tactical rifle, you have typically a mil-spec flash hider of some sort. So it's not going to take a lot of the recoil out, but it will conceal the flash a little bit better than this one will. It's also going to be a little bit more effective when you're shooting indoors because the blast from a good compensator is substantial. Moving right on down the line, we have a different optic system on this. So your tactical rifle here, we have a EOTech holographic sight. There's no magnification on that versus what I run is a Vortex Razor 1 to 10 power scope. So on 1 power, it still acts like a red dot, and I'm able to manipulate it very quickly in close quarter situations where I'm shooting fast on paper. We're gonna see that here in just a minute. But I also have the option to flip this up to 10 power and reach out to longer distances, shooting this rifle out to 600 plus yards. Outside of that, we have a couple of other things that separate these two rifles. Both of them have free float handguards, which I highly recommend. Both of them have upgraded triggers, which I also highly recommend. That is gonna help you have a higher rate of fire over your standard mil-spec trigger. So one of the other big differences between the competition rifle and your tactical rifle is I'm running a lightweight bolt carrier group as well as a tunable buffer system and a tunable gas block. That allows me to truly adjust this rifle for me to make sure between the compensator, the gas block, the buffer system, all those things make the rifle perform at a super high level. So basically there's no recoil, very little felt recoil I should say, and I'm able to really go fast on it. Whereas with the tactical rifle, everything is a little bit heavier. You have the full mass bolt carrier group, you have a full weight buffer system, the gas block isn't tunable. And that does increase reliability because even if you get gunk built up in there, it's gonna be able to run more effectively. Whereas with my race rifle, I have to keep it pretty clean. It does run even after 1,000, 2,000 rounds, but I do wanna keep it cleaned up because it's a race car. That's how I kind of treat this. With a tactical rifle, we wanna make sure that we're really focused on reliability all the time, even if you've got it dirty or you're gunked up after shooting a bunch of rounds. So those are the big differences between these. But enough of the talking. Let's go shoot these things. We're gonna run it through a little course of fire and kind of see the difference in the performance between the competition rifle and the tactical rifle. All right, so we're gonna start off this little test fire with a bill drill. And that's simply me shooting this target about 10 yards from a low ready position, 6 rounds, and we're gonna look at how the compensator, how this whole setup works as far as recoil management without anything. So this is the tactical rifle. Gonna see how it plays out. All right, stand by. Okay, so as you can see through that, the rifle's pretty bouncy, even with me working to control it. I'm gonna do that one more time. That was a 184, and we've got a couple of Charlies in there where the rifle kind of bounced outside of the alpha. So let's do that one more time, see if I can get a little bit better control. Stand by. That one's gonna be a 201. I had a little bit more control over that one, and we can walk up here and look at the target real quick. That time, I'm pretty sure all of them were in the A zone. These 3, 1, 2, 3 were from the first run, and then we have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the A zone. And there's our 3 outside the A zone for the 12. So we're gonna compare that right now with the competition rifle, and I think you're gonna be able to see just how effective having a good, well-tuned rifle is for putting rounds on target. Let's go check it out. All right, so with the tactical rifle, we had a 184 with 3 Charlies, and we had a 201 with all alphas. So this time we're gonna see what we can do with my competition rig and see what we can get as far as good hits, but as pushing as fast as we can, all right? Stand by. All right, so that is gonna be a 143. I think we pulled one right onto the line. Let's go up here and check this real quick before we do it again. Yep, so I pushed one. I think this was my second shot. So right there on the outside of the alpha. Otherwise, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here in the A zone. Let's do that one more time just to confirm. But a 143 bill drill Obviously, it's significantly faster than we were doing with the tactical rifle, and we've got really good group in there. I'm just going to try to tighten that up just a little bit, just for consistency's sake. All right, stand by. All right, I think I pulled another one off to the edge there. This time I pulled it off to the right, which I need to fix that, but that was a 150, so pretty consistent on the time-wise. Yep, here we go, one off to the right-hand side. Literally the exact same distance. We got a little bit more spread out here, 5, and that is it. So as you can see, the consistency of the recoil is significantly better because of how I've got this rifle tuned. Now, I'm very comfortable with this rifle. I've got thousands and thousands of rounds through it, but the thing works like a dream. So let's go ahead and do a couple more tests and see what you guys think. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and run a little course of fire here. I got some targets set up. We've got a steel that's way up on the hill, and we're gonna compare the two between the course of fire run with the tactical rifle and the competition rifle, see if there's a big time difference there, and then we'll also walk through and check the hits. All right, so let's do this right now. Stand by. All right, so I got a little slippery there on my footwork. We're at 12:23 total time. As we can see here, we've got 2 good hits on this one. A little bit high. I'm keeping myself away from the no shoot here. As we walk through this, we've got, let's see, 2 alphas here. 1, 2. We've got another, let's see, Alpha Charlie. This is where I kind of got a little slippery on my footwork coming through into that position. Just trying to push off on this gravel can be tough. We've got an Alpha Charlie here, and then we've got 2 alphas on this one. Now in that last position I was at, I had 1 extra makeup on the steel that's up a longer range. That's kind of attributed to the optic. The EOTech for me is a little difficult to see. I could turn the brightness up a little bit and that might help. But main thing is you want to get a good stable sight picture even after you run through this, and settling down to get those hits on the longer range steel is really important. So let's go ahead and run it with the competition rifle and see what the difference is. All right, so we ran it with the tactical rifle. Now we're gonna go ahead and run it one more time with the competition rifle and just see if there's any performance difference. I think you're gonna see some slight improvements as far as how the rifle's running, but overall the time's probably gonna be pretty similar. One thing I want you to keep in mind is you don't have to have a super fast, tricked out competition rifle to get into 3-gun or any of the competitions. Run what you got, get good with that. And then if you wanna upgrade, we can talk about that later on. All right, let's give this a shot and see what we can come up with. Stand by. All right, so once again, we had a couple of makeup shots on the long range steel. We got 11:75 total time. That's only a half a second faster. So like I said, it's not gonna be crazy faster. There are definitely some performance enhancements that this rifle offers over the tactical rifle. Between the compensator, all the tunability that it has, definitely shoots a lot faster, but you can see that when we did the build drill. Now let's go ahead and look at hits. We got 2 alphas here. Again, I want to make sure I'm staying away from this. I'm putting that dot right up in here so I'm not dropping down too low and hitting a penalty. We'll walk over here. This one here, we dropped the Charlie down just a little bit. Alpha Charlie here. We've got 2 alphas on this one. Coming in on this side, got another 2 alphas. 1, 2, and then an Alpha Charlie to finish things off. So a couple that we got just outside there, but as you can see, that's part of the course. So when we're shooting 3-gun, one of the things is we have the whole paper to shoot at. It's not just the alphas, but for this situation, I'm working on trying to put good accurate shots on there. All right guys, so as you can see, as far as the total performance across the board, both rifles are gonna be pretty similar when we start running a course of fire. There are certain things that will help you depending on the distance of the target, optic for instance, and how quickly you want to shoot, for instance, the rage compensator. So if you want any more information on what I have in my rifle or how to build this type of a setup, you can click one of the links below for my 3-gun gear guide. If you want to pick up a rage compensator, check out my website, FIREARMS.com. Otherwise, if you have any questions at all, drop a comment below. Be sure you smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the range.